On the cutting edge of anomaly research, you are about to experience The Evidence with your host, 3D pioneer and image analyst with Mars X3D, E.W. Gannett.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Mars X3D. This is your buddy Dave, and you know, if you're new to this channel or new to the world of X3D, it's just a method of viewing stereo pairs without equipment. In effect, it turns your monitor, your phone, your whatever you're using to view this into a gigantic viewmaster. It's very cool. It's used in science and industry and engineering, design of all kinds, and it's a very simple technique to learn. There are links down below so that you can learn this technique in a couple of minutes. We have viewers as young as 7 years old. Hello, Billy Bob, out there in the cross-eyed explorers. And we have a lot of kids on the channel, and a lot of adults, and really a whole bunch of proud weirdos. You know who you are. Anyway, got some cool stuff today. I was looking at something, trying to chase down an anomaly that Rami Bar-Ilan had posted. And in so doing, diving into 2789, I found all kinds of extra stuff. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in 2789. So let's go ahead and dive right in. You know, pretty much this entire video is based on 2789 when I dove into it to find Rami's, well, I call it scrimshaw, a large piece that you see in the center here that appears to be covered with some kind of carving. And as I dug through the images in the analyst's notebook looking for this particular one, I ran across a bunch of other items which I'm going to show you in just a moment. But let's go ahead and move in on this interesting looking piece. First, I'm going to show you Rami's version, which he made from what we call the screen door version. There's a grid that overlies a black and white image, and it's low res. And Rami extracted that and went to work with the burn tool, and it does indeed look like it has carving on it. But I processed mine from the analyst's notebook using the PDS, and let's take a look at that. And here's the PDS version in 3D, and you can see that I went to work with the burn tool, working all over the interior surface of this piece. And well, I don't know that it's carving. Maybe it's erosion. I suppose a possibility exists that it could be carving. But here's the thing. This is a very symmetrical piece, and it does indeed appear to have been shaped by intelligent hands. So is this part of a building? Is it a monument to a shark's tooth? I really don't know, and the jury is out on this one. But let's go ahead and have a look at some of the other little items that I dug out of 2789. Anyway, as I was digging through 2789, one of the first things I ran across was this beautiful chunk of metal. It's a close-up right next to Curiosity. Not something you see all the time. And let's take a closer look at this one. You notice that this almost looks like the head of a pickaxe, complete with a hole for the handle. It's even the right kind of shape, although badly worn and beaten by the centuries. But even if it isn't, it seems clear to me that this is a piece of fashioned metal and not a random rock or a meteorite or anything like that. And this last one brought to mind an artifact that appears to be made of metal that my friend James Tracy found from Curiosity 1923, and this also is close in to the rover. As we get in a bit closer to it, you can see that it appears to be metallic, and it has those divots and shaping on the surface that really don't seem natural to me. So is this a metallic artifact or is it just a stone? Well, I'll let you decide that, but it seems to me to be pretty suspicious. Okay, we're back in 2789 and looking out over the Martian surface, and as you'll notice inside the green box, the anomaly is right on the edge of the image. You know, that's something that seems to happen all the time. I don't know if that's on purpose or it's just random chance, but it sure seems strange. Anyway, we're going to take a closer look at it anyway. As we get closer, you can see that there's something strange about this. I mean, obviously it has that uniform thickness and 90-degree angles, a nice even rectangular block with markings on the surface. So let's move in even a bit closer and see if we can get any more detail. I don't know if that improved the situation at all, but I don't know what to make of this. It's definitely not natural. And I think those black marks on the top are shadows from projecting pieces. And as for the rest of it, well, I don't know. I can't tell if this is mechanical or structural, and all I know is it's certainly not natural. As we continue our survey of 2789, this little item down at the bottom caught my eye, and you can see plainly enough, even in the context view, it appears to be a split rectangle of some kind. If you're saying to yourself, this is just a rock, well, I don't blame you, it could well be. But you know, when you look at those rigidly perfect angles, that careful carved or split, whatever it is going up the center, and the nice even line between the rectangle and the rock behind it, which may or may not be part of the whole object. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. It looks like something that's been purposely shaped. Here's another one that kind of jumped out of the background at me, mostly because of what appear to be ribs on the side. We're already at the breakup point, so there's no point in getting closer, however much I'd love to do that. But you know, there are those ribs and that structure underneath and that flat end that's facing us and that kind of undercut end on the right side. Very strange looking, and of course, alien planet, right? I mean, we have no idea what this is, what purposes may have served. But again, I know it's a broken record, but it ain't natural. Here's another one in 2789 that's relatively close to the rover, over there on the right inside the yellow target. Look at that perfect little ball on the end of this piece with a hole, a perfect hole, dead center. And there are even some faint indications that it has right angles and other planes and angles to it that definitely make it seem to be a weathered metallic object, possibly, or stone, who knows. But let me show you something real quick here. Did you notice this socket or hole that seems to match that ball on the piece behind it? What's that all about? Was this a part of some machine that relied on a ball and socket joint of some kind, or is it just absolute amazing chance? Well, I think I'd rather go for the machine aspect of it. I mean, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, probably a duck, right? This last one, in my opinion, is pretty interesting. And you can see, just like I can back there in the yellow target, a nice, clean, black square. So that always says there's something up. Let's take a look. Could this be a rock? Well, sure it could. Pretty unusual rock, but to me, I see those two black squares, and particularly the one on top looks like a screen. You got almost what looks like a keyboard down below it, and all that other striated material off to the left. Is this an old computer or electronic device of some kind? I really don't know. But once again, this is not natural. This is something that has been manufactured. And it did make me think of an amazing find that Joe White made some time ago. Take a look at this. So this was first pointed out by someone named Ilya, and Joe White offered it on his channel. And you know, by golly, that looks a lot like a cell phone, doesn't it? One with a smashed screen. You can see the impact point in the center and the fracture lines radiating from that, just as if that black square was a typical screen on a cell phone. And of course, look at the arrow. It's pointing at what might be a place where the antenna went, or a recharging port, or who knows. But this is just clearly manufactured. It's not a rock. And, well, I'm hoping we find some more items like this so we can start to compile them into their own category. Right now, these are the only two I'm aware of. But, hey, if you know of any more, send them to your old buddy Dave here at Mars X3D at gmail.com, and we'll take a look at it. Well, that's the latest news from the Sunrise Command over here down east. And we just have another month or so here, and then it's back to work down in the People's Republic of Massachusetts. And we'll be doing it regular once a week and doing our live hangs once again. Meanwhile, if you saw something you liked, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It helps me to know whether to continue this work. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. To all my friends and proud weirdos out there, you know who you are. Stay safe and stay weird. Until then, this is your buddy Dave, over Mars X3D. Be well.